Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the good show of 2013. We're back. The gang's back. Semmler is made up with cats, which is why he's got Mingles. And actually, I was in a really good mood because she was over here and then she moved. So I'm pretty upset now, but you seem to be getting on well with the felines.
Yeah, I've regained her trust, you know, after doing away with her kittens.
She doesn't mind.
She doesn't mind.
She doesn't mind. All right, then, yeah, of course, in our corner, we have Hellspawn. Where the fuck have you been, Hellspawn?
Working, sleeping, drinking, doing stuff, I guess.
Where have you really been? That's not a foolproof story.
Everywhere and nowhere, I guess. It's the truth.
And of course, we got Weppas. Hello, Weppas.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good.
All right, well done. Glad you're here. And then off the corner, we got Newman, who's dying to talk about League of Legends. So we've tied him up. All right, then. So I'm completely prepared for this show. Prior to the show, I played about 4 hours of Civilization 5, and I have not read the document, which is a great way to start off 2013. I figured 2012, I tried a little too hard. Did you guys get that feeling?
Yeah,
I was trying to be a little bit too professional. So, don't know what's really going on. You guys will have to fill me in. Don't take that figuratively, Hellspawn. Looking at you.
I don't know what to say. I don't know shit either. It's gonna be a messy show, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah. Everyone have a good New Year?
Yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Predicted you were going to say that, Weppas. Then I knew you were going to laugh like that. Ah, we've grown too close.
Mind fuck.
How was yours, Hellspawn?
It was good. Kind of chillaxed, but I was at a party with some friends, so it was good.
Spend it with the family, spend it with the friends only.
Christmas with the family, but New Year's in Stockholm, so it's good.
New Year's in Stockholm, we didn't even see him.
Yeah, we did
What is
New
this?
Year's in Stockholm as well.
I know. I saw you on the social media. So
Really? You're following closely on Twitter.
I think it was Trans had some good looks there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I'm excited to be back, though. It's nice to be back on the show. Hellspawn, you've been away the longest.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I felt I always tried to come to the show, and I was on and off in the end of 2012, so that was sad.
We were on a break, you could say.
Yeah, afterwards, of course. But I think that, of course, this is like the silly season, and it's like the off season now. But still, a lot of stuff is going on. So I think we could have run a show all over the year because always something to talk about.
Yeah. Any New Year's resolutions?
Nope.
Why is no one doing this? I think we should do New Year's resolutions.
But I don't. Not my thing.
I'm convinced.
Really?
I just decide on things and go with it.
That's the way to do it.
I don't care what state it is.
That's boring.
Yeah, maybe. I'm
I know,
kind
Jay.
of boring, I guess.
I want to do.
got any?
I want to do New Year's resolutions. I want to do a New Year's resolution show. Maybe when everyone's back, where we come up with New Year's resolutions, but there's horrible punishments if we're unable to achieve them. I spoke about this with Scriff, and he's recommended that if I fail my New Year's resolutions, I get my ballsack lasered.
Yeah, that's. I remember. Brought that up this morning.
Removing limbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not really into it, to be honest.
That takes
He
care
saw
of
it on a Reddit thread, apparently. Like,
Yeah.
some guy said he had his ballsack lasered.
Takes
And,
care of crowds, right?
and then everyone went mental, and all the wives were telling their husbands, you should get your ballsack lasered. I didn't even know you could have that. But, you know, if I failed and had to do that, there would be a lot of jokes, like, you know, get some hair on your balls and stuff. So I'm not entirely sure about that punishment, but I'll consider it. But you want to do maybe next week? Are you here next week?
Yeah, most likely.
You
Sounds
should.
fun.
I'm not going to laser my balls next week, for fuck's sake, guys. All right, seriously.
Live on the show.
Quick.
But what I'm saying is, why don't we do a New Year's resolution show next week where we come up with resolutions that you want to do, and then we'll see if we can do them, and then we can have a little ongoing progression. Come on, you've got to have one New Year's resolution, like something that you want to do.
For your games, of course, yeah. Of course, we can make something up. Maybe I should make one for you. That's not how it works. No.
I'll make one for you. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be silly.
Yeah. So all right then, let's get into the show. Victory Cat looks very happy, content, and ready. Hello, everybody in chat as well. We are, of course, sponsored by Asus. We think. We don't really know. We haven't spoken to them for a while.
But they're still there.
We'll find out, but they're really cool. So we just put their logo up. So we'll find out next week. Hey, Survey Girl. Survey Girl, I don't really think you should be talking about anal bleaching. I'm just reading chat right now. A little bit too far. One for Hellspawn. Let's go into the document. I'm absolutely crap so far. Right, show's called Back in Business. We're going to go into Dota 2. Weppas, you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
I knew you'd say that. Have you got the document over there?
Yeah, Hellspawn got it.
Ah, cool. All right then. So I forgot how to do this. How do we do it?
I thought it was Semmler.
Is it? Is that what you do?
I think so.
Do
I
you
was
want me
always
to-
wondering what you did.
Is it?
Yeah, since we don't cover the results anymore.
Do you want?
I'm just, it's like so distracting, and Mingles is here for once.
We've got to get some content on the show, Sam.
Hey there, darling.
Can't all be about lasering balls.
we can start off with the first bit of news, yeah. So Dota 2 is what we'll open with, because Weppas is down here with us. And already starting things off, Dota 2 prize money in 2012 exceeded $2 million, 470,000 outside of Valve and the International, which is quite a big chunk of change, actually. 2 million, seeing as how it's always been the International, that was 1.6 million. Oh my god, that's the only event that anybody ever cares to compete in. We actually have a good chunk of change outside of that as well. The thing is, I guess, the point is, can we expect to see more this year? And I guess, actually, Hellspawn would be well placed to mention anything about this, seeing as how you just had Dota 2 at your DreamHack Winter tournament event. How did that go?
I think the Dota 2 went really good at DreamHack Winter. Of course, the good studio made the production, so we had good viewing numbers, but also seeing, for example, the Russian Vilat having good numbers too, and a good show up. So Dota 2 for sure will expand. I think that it feels like coming into the International 2 and then after the International 2, even though some teams split up or there were some off-season, I think still it picked up a lot, especially in China, and we see a lot of prize money in China already, and I think for 2013 we will see it all over the Western world, but especially in China. So the prize money, I don't think that over $2 million is that impressive actually.
Yeah, it was like.
But it's good to know that it's not only the international, which is kind of common to focus about.
Yeah, it's 470,000 roughly in the other games. Navi took 73,000, LGD 47,000, MTW actually took 28,000, Empire 28,000. So in terms of like some of the money that they've earned, it really doesn't stand up to what Counter-Strike was in its prime.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, outside of the international. So the international is really that boost that the Dota 2 kind of gets. But you know, it's an interesting figure. We just thought we'd bring it up for you. I didn't write a document, but it's there now.
I think the prize money will be really big actually for Dota 2.
Yeah, I still think this is going to be the year where Dota 2.
Well, goes live, maybe?
I think that's a good point actually. The game is still in the beta, so.
I can't see it going anywhere but up in like a big way.
Yeah, especially.
I don't necessarily need to say it's going to be bigger than League of Legends because I don't think it matters, you know, because one of them's an esport game and the other one's a kind of comical parody, which is, you know, as I've mentioned on the previous show. But you know, with all the core esport games that require skill, it will be the biggest one.
I don't know about that, but for sure that we see a lot of teams picking up teams or players, and also we see that. I mean, the streaming numbers to me is only rising at this point.
Exactly.
And I think that the player base is over 200,000 now concurrent peak.
Yep.
So it's just racing all the time.
Well, Dota was estimated at 2 million users, player base. So that we have to see how that works out. And
What did you say? 2 million?
20 million. 20 million.
Yeah, on
20
Dota.
On Dota, the original.
But that was based on downloads, which is kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah, I don't know how Valve got those numbers. That's what I heard. But yeah, the streams are getting really big. If you've seen Beyond the Summit recently, they've been doing a great job.
Yes,
They've been-
a lot of content.
They've been getting a lot
They've
of
been
viewers
kicking
lately as well.
ass.
Yeah. But they've had winter co-casting, so
Yeah. all right.
Winter, yeah,
He's
that's
actually
right,
been really, really good.
That's the thing.
I've enjoyed
What's the
it.
general opinion of him? Because I hear a lot of good
People
things.
like it.
Yeah.
People like him a lot. I mean, of course his English isn't his best, but his insight is actually really good.
And he's actually quite funny as well.
Yeah,
Some of
he
the
is.
stuff he says.
Yeah.
And he says it very kind of bluntly. He's
Deadpan.
like,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
obviously
Yeah, but
he
it's
knows the game so well. So
Yeah.
it's always nice to have such a high caliber player.
He's not as funny as Ice though.
No, of course. Yeah, but he's always been very talkative.
Yep.
I remember meeting him at ESWC 2011. And of course, Mushi was the big star for me at that point, but Winter did nice interviews.
Well, you know the thing about Beyond the Summit getting a lot bigger now, what I've noticed is Join Dota don't really have the pull that they used to on Dota numbers lately.
No. Feel
Don't
like-
know if it's just because, Toby casts by himself, or that people just really enjoy what LD and Gods are doing. Because it's mainly LD that anchors it, but...
Yeah, but I also think that the defense, the first defense, was so big and so important and so interesting. It was like the best Dota that you could get. And the defense 2, it was much bigger, but it was not maybe as attractive. And I think that the defense 3 so far hasn't been as interesting.
He got
watching
criticised.
G League is more interesting, I would say.
He got
Yeah.
criticised, didn't he, Toby, for some Join Dota, the defense stuff?
Yeah, because he was gone for so long and games didn't get covered and whatever.
Oh, really?
Whatnot. And
Yeah.
some games didn't show up in Dota TV when they wanted it because they bought a ticket, so they couldn't watch replays. So it was a lot of things while Toby was gone for the Asian stuff. But I think it's been running a lot smoother
I
now.
think he's going for a career change.
Really?
Because I think I've seen him do some reality TV now. He's done some YouTube videos, hasn't he? Where like you talk about your feelings and shit. Have you seen that?
No, I
He's
have
been
not.
doing vlogs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been doing vlogs. Toby's going into reality TV, right? That's what's happening.
Well, he's entertaining, so I guess that will work out too.
But I
Well,
think
he's a
that
ginger. He has no soul.
yeah.
Makes sense.
No, but I'm not worried at all about Join Dota. I just think that they haven't had any prime content maybe to cover in the same way as they had before. But overall, I think just it's good that we need to see more casters, having a lot of casters covering the game. We cannot only have one or two. Of course, we're going to have people like Toby or Day 9 or Husky in the beginning of StarCraft 2 leading the way, and then add on more people. And I think that Valve did really good at the international, bringing in a lot of casters and giving them a room and attention that they needed. And I think that a lot of them have evolved since then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's kind of the thing, though. People have started to realize there's a lot more than just Join Dota, and there's more casters and
Yeah,
a lot more stuff to watch as
I
well,
definitely
because they
feel
don't
within
actually
Dota 2,
cover
the,
everything. I mean,
yeah,
they cover a lot, but
the commentators and the coverage and the production has evolved a lot outside of just what Join Dota were originally doing at the
it
beginning.
feels kind
Anyway.
of the same as when StarCraft really got big, where it was like, yeah, it's a few casters you watch, and then it was like you pretty much watch them, and now everybody watches everybody, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's been going a lot faster in Dota
Yeah.
than it did in StarCraft 2.
I think also someone pointed out good in the channel that Own 3D or Own, they have really more or less vanished, I would say. So I think that maybe Join Dota is hurting by being on Own at this point, and the other getting boosted by being on Twitch, because they do have a lot of more traffic at this point.
Yeah, Owned don't seem to have the reputation they used to
No,
This is
to
definitely
say
true.
the least. I wouldn't be surprised if they got bought out, to be honest.
yeah, a lot of people in the industry has counted them out for actually a long time. It feels like we've talked about it here on and off, and we will see what the future holds.
Oh, all right. So let's actually move on to some topics, as we just talk about whatever the hell we want to here. GSET is to return. It sounds like a time zone, but it's actually the Gigabyte Esport Tournament. They'll be coming back in 2013. This is the one that Gods helped with, was it? Who commentated? Because I know Gods works closely with Gigabyte.
I think so. You saw it sometimes on Twitch, but I don't really...
Wasn't there a Gigabyte tournament where everyone went mental?
As in what?
As in, it was all fucked up, and the organizer blamed EG for doing something, and... Yeah, I know. Was that the Giga one?
I'm not sure, but you might be right, though. I remember the drama, but I don't know the name.
Wish we knew what we were talking about. That'd make a really good show. Huh?
The G-Win.
Was that the G what?
G-Win.
G-Win. Okay.
All right.
I'm just too many G's.
I don't know how big and strong this tournament is, but I mean, Gigabyte normally sponsors major tournaments in Asia, China, and Korea. So, guess it's good.
Yeah, and they did Dota last time, I believe.
Yeah. The Dota 2 one they had was the challenge one.
Yeah, and they're going to be doing, it looks like Dota and Dota 2. Yeah. Starting in March, going to be ending in October, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll see what the prize money is. Nothing's too much is announced, but if they've got gods involved, hopefully they've got someone worthy of consulting them to do awesome things. So keep an eye out for that one. God, news is crap lately, isn't it? Need something good. Right, what's this? Curse. Yeah, Curse are going to sign a Dota 2 team. There's a picture on my screen. I made it myself. There it is. Pretty good at Photoshop. Yeah, it was on their Facebook page. They said, can you guess what our team's going to be? And the question is, Weppas, can we guess what Curse's team's going to be?
I have no idea, but if I would make a guess, I'd say DD. But
who?
I don't know. DD, the ones that were sponsored by NYM before, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's not no Tidehunter since they've been saying no, it's a new sponsor. They don't have a name yet, so it can't be a team that's already existing. But
could though be that they going into Dota and haven't been around in Dota. But I don't think that I don't think it's going to be Loda's team either. No. And I would guess it's American team. But
yeah, it could be.
That seems to be the word on the campfire.
Yeah, I think it's American as well. I think they even said, like, I can't remember on their Facebook, but they hinted it sounded a little bit North American-y in terms of the team pickup.
Yeah, but although Curse is such a gigantic company, they also released Gamepedia, I think. They're going to challenge on the Wikipedia platforms, bringing content to a lot of games. Yeah. I mean, they have the websites, they have so much stuff going on. So, I mean, Curse is just gigantic.
They make a fucking load of money.
Yeah, and they have such a big presence in League of Legends, of course.
Yeah, it's quite scary because like the amount of hits they get, like on all their sites. I remember someone telling me from Curse, and it was just like X amount of billion hits, and I was just like, what the fuck? So they could be one of the strongest organizations within esports. So meaning if you get to join Curse, you're probably going to get a better salary than if you would have joined Fnatic for Dota 2 or SK Gaming.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, especially. So whoever's got picked up by Curse should be really fucking happy. But the announcement's going to be coming soon. Slasher doesn't even know who it is either.
No.
No?
Oh my God, if Slasher
no sources?
Nobody knows.
If Slasher doesn't know, no one knows.
Ah, man, he's asking.
He knows everything.
Asking anybody.
Maybe I know.
He was asking me.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He was like, James, you're not putting together a Dota 2 team, are you? And sending it to Curse, which of course I said yes.
But how was Curse? It was a World of Warcraft site from the beginning, right?
Yes.
And then add-ons.
Yeah.
It's like a huge network built off basically what World of Warcraft the sites were at the beginning. So you had like Wowhead became under the Curse network, I believe.
It did?
I think Wowhead was the Zenga network. I can't remember.
Apparently Toby is saying
it was maybe bought. One of them was bought by Curse. Like there was two big sites for WoW.
I
and one
think
of them
it was Wowhead then.
Yeah.
If so, because
and then they concentrated on WoW stuff. They looked at like Warcraft movies, and then they just started like taking this business model about communities, how they build them, and they had arena junkies obviously, and then they just adapted them to lots of different games.
But they bought MMO Champion also from MLG, right?
Yes. Yeah, they did. And that was
One
privately
of the few
owned.
sites that
Yeah,
survived.
that was privately owned, and then MLG came in.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we got loads of investor money, we don't know what to do with it, we're never going to earn it back, let's just fucking buy a WoW website, why not? And then a couple of the staff members were farming gold for MLG that they were selling. So that was probably the biggest MLG profit that year.
About maybe I don't know actually the truth, but or maybe do. But I think talking about MLG when they got Frag, I think that I don't know if Lee Chen is still with MLG, because I saw a tweet from like mid-December, that he changed his name.
Wait, who's this? I wasn't actually listening.
About Lee Chen?
Lee Chen changed his name.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter.
So I don't know if he's still with MLG or not.
He left.
Did he?
Yeah, I suppose he left.
Really?
Which is kind of big.
Newman saying yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Because
Yeah.
email.
He emailed me saying, I'm leaving MLG, Newman, my best buddy.
This is why you need a mic.
Okay.
Newman, I'm coming to live and spoon with you in Sweden.
Well,
Hugs.
I mean,
Usually in normal jobs, we
Formerly known the MLG. Huh? Lee? Huh? What?
Usually in normal jobs, when you leave a job, you basically...
You emailed everybody saying, I'm not working here anymore, please, contact me. So you got an email saying, yo, I'm MLG Lee, formerly known as, I'm Lee, formerly known as MLG Lee, like an artist. Soon Riot Lee.
that would be cool. But I think that's kind of big though, because I mean to me has been one of the top threes in MLG running the business. So
Why is everyone telling me that no Tidehunter equal curse, bro?
It's not.
Well,
Well, it's
I
not going
wouldn't
to
be
be cursed for no
surprised if it
Tidehunter.
was. The thing
I don't
is,
think it
the
is.
only thing that stops me thinking it was no Tidehunter is because Curse, I think, have a partnership with Own3D,
Yeah,
and no Tidehunter stream on Twitch.
yeah.
So-
They all moved over from Twitch. Even Loda, who's
Apparently,
who's together with Kelly. So, I mean,
apparently Toby is tweeting at us,
he just sent one tweet.
yeah. People said
People are
that.
trolling in chat.
and people are trolling in chat.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, man,
but
Toby sounds really angry.
some people have been saying that it's either 4FC or DD if it's
Yeah.
an European team. I know that Drunken, the manager for DD, tweeted like 1 or 2 days ago, like a big announcement coming soon. So it could be DD, who was formerly MYM, but they left them. But it could be 4FC as well. They've been like,
The ward around water cooler is a new team. So that's what Toby told me.
We're
Yeah,
around the
well,
campfire,
like-
Toby.
All right.
a new team. I have no idea who it is.
So,
could be Cinderan. Who knows?
Toby himself.
Huh?
you got MTW, man.
Toby also says maybe, 4FC.
Yeah.
He said that. All right, then, so Dota 2 player changes. Snaking leaves Team Dignitas. Snaking was the very young player that came to DreamHack and had mixed performances in each of his games, maybe because of nerves or age, but either way, he's now gone. Newman kicked him out. Way to go and ruin this guy's dreams. How old was he, Newman? 17? Did he cry? Yeah, he did. Okay. Universe is going to replace him.
But that must be a good pickup. I mean,
It's
under EG, I felt that Universe was solid.
I think it's a good pickup because I think Fogg can go back to playing mid then as well. I don't know, either Fogg go back to mid or like Universe plays mid, but I think it's a good pickup. It's sad though to see Snake leave because sometimes he had some really sick games, but from what I heard, it's school pretty much that forces him to leave because
Okay.
they couldn't have a proper practice schedule because he was in school still. So
I mean, since they joined Dignitas, they haven't done as good as they did prior to it.
no.
I mean, around the time of the international, they did so well.
Well, they've been performing. The thing is, though, like before
Like-
international, he wasn't in school, so they could practice and play.
Yeah.
And then school started, and they didn't practice, barely played in the tournaments. The tournaments they played, they actually did quite decently in, but yeah, no practice from what I heard. As well as Aoi had quite a hard time to practice because of school.
Yeah.
They have been doing really well lately, though. No? Yeah, I mean, all the online tournaments they're playing, they're doing really well.
They're doing really well.
They just did
Oh,
quite
we got
poorly
them.
at DreamHack, and then they did really well at the ESWC. I mean, the results themselves have been good, so we're really happy with them.
You haven't really seen them a lot, though, but Like when you've seen them, they've actually played
In
quite
before
well.
I'd say
announcement
they're
of Dignitas
I'd
dropped
say
out
they're
the 2
probably the second team in the US at the moment,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm not sure how good EG is at the moment, but I mean, we're definitely up there.
All right. Keep telling yourself that, Newman. You're doing great. You're doing great. All right then. So Absolute Legends pick up a second. They already had one. They're getting a bit greedy. And it consists. What the fuck?
Wasn't it 2 like Icelandic players or something?
What the fuck is
One of them
Link?
is the quick player.
What the fuck is Linku
He's
doing
Linku,
in this
yeah.
team?
Oh yeah.
The quick guy.
All right.
But that's a
But it's
academy
an
team,
it's an
right?
academy team, yeah. So it's like
okay.
Fnatic Academy, I think.
Yeah. All right. So you got 2 Icelandic players, an English guy, so it had to be an academy team because we're all shit at Dota. And yeah, Absolute Legends have got a second team. Linku's in there, which is really funny because he was someone that I used to play Quake 3 against, like 2004, 3, 2, I think. That's weird. Yeah, so Absolute Legends, weren't they in some drama recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
But I think that Newman has called them out once or twice in this show. But
Do you want to wait, Newman, and we do the drama when you sat down so we can see your facial expressions?
Sure.
Yeah?
I mean, it doesn't
think you
matter.
should
I
do the
mean,
drama.
All right.
I'm not sure I've called them out, but I mean, they're definitely, I mean, idiots is the correct word, I think.
Well, that's not really not calling them out. That's,
Well, the drama's gonna start
insulting
now if we don't stop right here.
I mean,
It doesn't matter.
nice
I mean,
to meet
everyone
you,
knows
I'm
they're
Newman
idiots.
from Team Dignitas. By the way, you're all idiots.
Season's greetings.
Happy New Year!
I think it's a lot of people who have had a hard time judging them, and I mean they have sent their players to events. They have League of Legends and Dota, and they have StarCraft, and they have Counter-Strike, CS:GO also. So they are a big organization. I think that their site is really big in League of Legends, but I'm not really knowing. But I think that one of the biggest sites.
Stop trying to impress me.
I think it was Madelisk who called out in the blog.
Yeah.
She left the team a long time ago. I mean, she was in Quantic in between. So in that regard, maybe it's a little bit strange, but maybe she had reasons to wait for salary or having friends who wanted salary or whatever. I don't know.
Seems like she'd kept in touch with players in the circle, players
Yeah.
in the team, players in the circle who were working with AL. And
She's a
who were
bit of
still
a
owed
mummy.
money.
She is a bit of a mummy.
Can I just
When
say that blog that Madelisk wrote as well was like so much bullshit, it was crazy almost.
We'll talk about it in a bit.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it in a bit?
Yeah.
Let's get
Talk about
Weppas
it
off the
later.
show.
I wanna,
What
He's
you
having
say? You said
don't-
it was
let's
bullshit in the blog.
Yeah,
Let's get
the
me
blog
off
is
the show
bullshit.
so I can go.
no,
make
why did we
food.
start it then?
Weppas,
No,
what
no,
do you
no,
need to
move
do
on.
straight after the Dota segment?
Make food.
Oh. Well, that's not that important.
Well, we're still in the Dota segment.
All right, we're still in the Dota segment. We'll come back
I
to
guess.
that. All right, then. We has Asian disbands, as well as Pulse, question mark. There you go. And then Gamer University announces North American Dota 2 squad. Aren't these the really dodgy people that I looked at their website?
But they replied
They did reply to me.
on Facebook, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, but they
Oh,
just
they
kind of
did?
said, "Hey, Jay."
Yeah, but I think
how are you?"
they're.
I just heard they were really dodgy, and I was just like, I ran the message.
Oh
on
yeah.
Facebook.
Oh, that team. It's really random. I think. I don't know. I
What's
don't
with-
recognize any of the players.
It's with the
but-
capitalist, right? That's that commentator.
Yeah,
that
the
we were
commentator.
Watching the other day.
Right. All right. So their team
Oh.
is Techniques, Gangster, The Capitalist, Defect, and Ziz. And yeah, I was a bit. Someone gave me some information saying that they did something like a tournament and didn't pay any prize money, but I didn't know if it was true or not. So I still can't say. Yeah, it was this guy. I remember. Wow, it's like Fug Life on this website, isn't it? All these crazy pictures that Chance doesn't want to bring up.
What?
Fug Life.
Yeah,
Boy
really,
band.
really nice pictures. of
That
the
guy
crew.
like Psy.
This guy looks like Gangnam Style.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah?
looks like Psy.
Gangsta.
Then again, you whack.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
That guy looks like the guy who stole
They
my
look
phone.
solid.
Huh?
They look solid.
Well, you know, we can't judge
Hellspawn
them yet.
approves.
But we'll see. But that's a big prize pool. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. If anybody knows any more information, let us know. So we'll leave it at that. And then tournament results. G League Season 2 final 2 teams were decided. What the fuck?
Yeah, but I think we need to talk more about G League.
I think so as well.
So G League is a Dota 2 tournament. Features Dota 2 players that play together in teams of 5, which then make teams. They go into the tournament, play against each other. Lots of spells are casted. Eventually, someone makes it to the finals, and there's a winner and a loser.
Sounds like every tournament.
Sums it up pretty well.
Bro.
Guess we're done here.
Yeah, we are. I think for me, G League has been one of the things that I try to follow as much as possible, and I just love it in so many ways because we know that they are one of the best teams involved in it. So good to see LG International doing well with Paikato for the Swedish guy. Like he is actually the reason I came into Dota, following him at the International one. So I just love following his progress, and they are now in the final against IG. So that's going to be really cool. Also, G League isn't that the most?
Yeah, that's the most prestigious one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Ace after that, and G1
and it's
after
for
that,
the $2,000. So it's like the prize pool, I guess,
It's
is
so-
the biggest in Dota 2 history outside of the international.
Isn't it like really weird, like distributed as well? Like how much did they say? 42.
Yeah, and it's
And isn't like 9K or something to third place, and
I
then
think
winner gets rest or
8K
something.
to second place. I think.
Yeah, and then like winner takes the rest.
Big chunk.
It's
Yeah,
like
why
over
not?
30 at least.
Sounds like
Newman
sounds
doesn't like it, but I
sounds
think
like
that it's
last
kind of common though in Chinese tournament that they have it really, really top heavy like this. And I mean, the international was also really top heavy, but it doesn't really matter. I think it's a really cool event. It's played in a studio. I didn't see any people, so it seems to be a TV studio.
Yeah, it is a TV. studio.
I think they
It's
could
on
have
Chinese TV. So.
yeah, they could have used that a little bit more. I think like you got some camera shots on the players, but not as much as you have maybe wished for. But they do have a nice concept and nice graphics. I mean, the presentation is good. Not as good as in League of Legends on, for example, what Riot are doing or something like that. But it looks really good. Better than anything else in Dota, I would say, to this point. And I also think that LD and Winter has done a marvelous job with Beyond the Summit, having the Chinese broadcast.
Well, they're letting a lot of people just cover it. They're
Yeah.
really good. Like Join Dota, get in on there. But yeah, G League has had a great production. We've been watching it here. The final 2 teams are LGD International versus Invictus Gaming.
Yep.
We actually got to watch some practice matches because when we have Jaskal here, he gets in a couple of matches. So we actually watched them practice LG International versus IG. Must have been a couple of months back now, but
at least 1 or 2 months now. So.
That's cool.
And IG stomped them
Yeah.
in practice. And honestly, LG International didn't look that great in practice, but they've been absolutely phenomenal.
I think
all tournament, this whole G League tournament now. Like, how many maps have they dropped now? Is it like 1 or something?
They lost 1 game though against
2 maybe, I guess, in total.
Yeah, but
one
lost
or
the
2.
match in
Yeah.
the group stage.
Yeah, they lost 1 match, so but they still played like 3 or 2-1 in that game, I think.
Yes.
So they've lost like 3 or 4 games in total,
Yeah.
which is kind of good.
And I also like it with we're seeing, I would say for me at least, new teams like For Love. Everybody was counting them out, and then they went in and defeated LGD, right? Or was it DK?
Yeah, but
I
think
think
they beat
DK the
DK.
first game.
Yeah,
They beat
DK.
DK.
Yeah.
But then they got stomped by everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still it was a big achievement just because DK has been really strong.
And then,
And then also seeing, for example, VG, who did fairly okay also, and no one knew about him at all. So we're
But they-
seeing all of this. It's not only the top teams in China who are transferring. We're seeing like the teams behind them too. So it seems to be a big transfer right now.
But
which
didn't
is really
VG
good.
force the 3-way tie though? Like they
Yeah.
they made sure so it was a 3-way tie, and then they went through though, right? Because they knocked NFC out.
They got knocked out. It was Tongfu.
Oh yeah.
Tongfu went on. So
Yeah.
I think this tournament has been
No,
really
there were
great.
6 teams going through. The winners of each group went to semis, but they got
maybe
knocked
you're right,
out in
sorry.
the quarters.
Yeah,
They lost
you're
to
right.
LGD China.
You're right.
But yeah.
They went through.
You know what's really upset me though about G League? It's how angry Pycat always looks. on camera. He just looks angry all
Brex
the time.
looks really
He
happy
looks
all the
like
time, though.
he's that. It's like he was in Final Fantasy, and that was his full-time job, and then he got cut from the game series, and he took up heroin. And he's like, like if Final Fantasy characters were real, and then no one played that, and he didn't get taken to that, he had nothing else to do. She just took up drugs. He's got big red eyes. He just looks angry. He's playing a lot of Dota. That's what I see when I see him. On the other hand, 1437
Yeah.
And
looks like a prince, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Did you see the interview with Brax and 4037? There was they're doing interviews afterwards, and I think I don't know which media there is doing English interviews, but it was kind of cool to see Brax because he's the newcomer that actually no one really knew about and had seen him in front of camera, and he was like, I wouldn't say talk big, but he had really a good attitude, which I like when people are confident in themselves and do like to talk in front of the camera. So I think they have a really strong team. I didn't expect them at all to do this good, to be honest.
I don't think a lot of people do.
So I don't know if they are having this month where they're performing so great, but I do expect Pikecat and those guys to keep it together and be able to compete on a longer term. But
It's not just them
I think
keeping
every
it
month
together.
that pass on, the Chinese team will although get better. So
Well, you can compare it to Empire, when Empire bloomed out the month before DreamHack, whereas no one knew what to do against their aggressive tri lane with Funnick farming in the safe lane. Everybody just lost to it all the time. They know what they do, but they don't know what to counter it just yet because they do it so well. And that's kind of the same thing with LGD International. They got their double roamer with one jungler, or they can get a Lesh Shadow Demon or a Rubik Lesh, or they have Misery on Enchantress or Shen, but they still do really well with it, and people kind of play too passive to go up against it, and they're really good with putting their lanes in proper places, so they always know how to lane against their opponents. But I think the Chinese teams are going to catch up to that, but I still don't see LGD International starting to lose too much.
And it's
They're good enough to
too solid.
they're good enough to evolve their playstyle to be able to still use that playstyle, but work around people trying to counter it. I think they'll just keep on being really well, but we'll have to see though. But people will start figuring them out, but they'll probably come up with new shit.
To me, it's very interesting with Dota that the meta game is so brutal, to be honest, that for 1 month you can totally dominate, and then you don't win anything for 3 months.
Yeah.
I think it's more brutal than actually any other game that I've followed.
It's a lot of it's to do. I mean, a lot of people are saying lately it's just the way the bans and picks work, and the fact that you don't get to ban so many heroes. It's made the ban and pick phase so much more important than it was previously. So anyway, we'll leave the G League at there. Make sure you check it out. Mingles, wake up!
Can I say one thing about the ban pick?
Wake up, Mingles!
The big difference though is that if you look at European Dota and Chinese Dota, the ban picks are totally different.
Yeah.
It's not even close to each other. And depending on what teams go up against each other, it's so different. What was it against Tongfu? They banned Anti-Mage Keeper of the Light in the first phase, both games or whatever.
Yeah.
Or all 3 games. And then they go up against another team and they ban Mag and Bat, or they ban Nyx and Bat. It's such a big difference depending on what teams and what scene you look at.
Is this personalized to the teams or personalized to the Chinese style of playing in general?
Both, I would say.
Yeah, what was it? For Love banned out both junglers in the first phase, every jungler against LGD International, but didn't really matter. But still.
But it should also be said that I think the two parts with G League is interesting. First of all, they run the first 2 maps on one day in the semi-final, and then the 3 last maps, although it was 3-0-3-0, I think.
Was it
But
because of lag problems and stuff?
I don't think
No,
it was supposed to be
It's supposed to be like that, but it's really good because you get the story kind of evolves. The story gets caught up with the community over the night. So you do your first day, and then everyone's waiting for that second day, and you also get the story, get people writing about we're currently at this situation on the websites. So anyway, that's it with G League, guys.
But we need to talk about the final. Yeah, but we need to talk about the final.
I was gonna do that.
Okay.
I was good, but I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Fuck you then.
Well, one last thing
You do it.
is it true that after G League they're gonna take a break, like in Legend International, and they
Bingo.
will go to their homes and stuff? That's what I heard. As if for a short period.
No, I think international taking it, like
break,
the G
yeah.
League finals is in like 1 month or something.
Oh, they're gonna do
so
the
they're
break
taking
now.
a break now.
It's after
So
the,
everybody's
after
gonna
the
go
Luna
to their
Festival.
families and stuff now.
Well, if Bycut comes back to Stockholm, we'll make sure and try and
Yeah.
get him to the studio for
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, I
on
think
the
they're
show.
going home now for the finals are in like one month or something.
Okay.
Yes. The finals are going to be
In
1 to 2
Mercedes-Benz
months.
Arena, which is like 10,000 people, is gonna come there.
Yes.
Fun
After
full
the
venue.
Chinese New Year, there's going to be a lot of changes
Yeah.
maybe in Dota in the meanwhile. And also, everyone talks about G League, it's awesome, but Ace apparently is the most awesome, according to the document. Document doesn't lie.
Huh?
So, moving on, the Asia 2012 finished up in
That was
December,
the other way around.
which was the tournament with, was it probably the worst coverage in Dota 2? I remember this one.
Which one? Oh,
The Asia. Can't really remember
Oh,
too much about
We-
last
we-
year.
we
It
mentioned
was all
it,
a blur,
um,
actually.
We mentioned it in a few of the shows, but yeah, it kind of dropped off from there. Wasn't too much.
Yeah, no, we mentioned it was going to happen, and we didn't actually get to cover it. But prize pool was 30,000. The winner was LGD Gaming. MUFC came second. Great performance for them, and RNG Sports came in third. But the coverage wasn't it like just like it looked like a webcam? Trans, do you want to do this?
I
bit?
mean,
'Cause you definitely watched it.
Toby knows most of it because since he was part of it, but apparently the local team that was given to him to produce the actual stream was subpar, to say the least. And they used some really rudimentary methods, if I could call them that way, to actually produce the stream. Or like at some point a camera was filming the projector in the hallway and the camera microphone was actually the feed for the stream, which is like, come on, this is 1980. But anyways, besides that, it was like the tournament itself, there were some good games and whatnot. And there was also an alternative stream, I think, besides Toby's. It was not only Toby, it was also Beyond the Summit who covered it, right? Some of the games I remember.
wasn't it?
Was it Beyond the
Toby and
on-site Gods,
doing-
yeah, but there was
yeah.
also one off-site, which was BTS. They also covered that.
I don't
Weppas
remember.
doesn't have the memory, but anyways, I remember. And I just guess the local production was pretty bad. So hopefully they can take from that and improve for next year, because it would be nice to have it next year again.
All right, and that brings us to the end of our Dota 2 tournament results.
No, we still have.
No, Trans. That brings us to the end of our Dota 2 tournament results.
We still have.
No, Trans.
Why?
And now we're at the end because it's boring, Trans.
We should talk about the 1v1. People want to hear about it. Shouldn't
The Revenge. Empire wins. $500. Well done, Empire. You need that kind of money. The defense is still ongoing.
Holy shit.
Breaking news here at the Good Show. It's not over yet. And then Beyond the Summit are doing a 1v1 called A Fistful of Tangos. They show it at the beginning and at the end of their G League coverage. It's actually quite good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fun to follow.
So why would you?
It was actually a lot of fun to watch the 1v1.
I agree with you, James.
Talked so much about G League. It's like, do we want to cover
You
it?
ruined the whole Dota 2 segment for me. Just you talk way too much, Weppas. You got really excited about it all. You're not used to that. I put you on the
You're
show
not
because you
supposed
didn't.
to get excited about
Yeah.
these things.
Just
I've got
supposed to sit there
Newman
and smile.
off the
He's the
side that
face.
wants to talk shit about Absolute Legends.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. But the 1v1 tournament, yes, you can watch that on Beyond the Summit. Check it out at twitch.tv. Back to Hellspawn for now for something completely different.
Yeah, that was different.
Back to me.
Where are
And
you
that
diamonds?
concludes the end of our Dota 2 segment. Thank you, Hellspawn, there, for wrapping that one up for us.
Anytime, man.
Hold on. You'd rather talk about LOL. Let's just, shall we move on so we can start talking about a bit of drama? Get
It was a
some
very
TMZ
good
action
Dota 2
going on
segment,
here?
Weppas. Well done.
Yeah. So, we're gonna take a break, or we're gonna go for? We're gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going so smooth, this one.
Hey, man. Gotta get back in the swing of things. What, a couple weeks off?
I can't even remember what's happened. Like,
1 second ago.
what? What's he doing? No,
being
I just can't remember anything. I actually can't remember anything. I don't know what happened in December. The only thing I know lately is Stefano took a knife onto a plane.
That was fucked up.
That's the only esport knowledge I have in my head.
But it's
It's
not
like
only that.
I'm fucking blank.
Number one, he brought the knife on the airplane. Number
Yeah.
two, he picks it up and then he tweets about it.
In the airplane.
In the airplane, yeah.
But he's a bad boy of StarCraft.
Yeah, but
You just
like-
needed a few dollar bills next to
It's
it.
not a bad
But the thing is, like, sure, like, just because he looks like a terrorist doesn't mean he has to act like one.
Yes.
Why are you laughing? It's just
You just drop it.
Could have gone to custody again. You know?
that's the only knowledge I got in StarCraft. I've just reset myself. I got so drunk that over like New Year's and stuff, I don't know what happened. I have nothing in my head. Huh?
There's some sex stuff as well.
The sex stuff. Why the fuck are we not getting Newman back on the
Seriously, Newman.
Yeah, can we
about to
just go to
deliver.
a break?
Alright, guys.
No, but
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our StarCraft 2/drama section with Newman.